All right. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining us once again. That's Brendan Haywood. As noted, I'm Rick Bucher. This is Finding the Seams. And let's get to it, Brendan, because there's a lot going on. A
Oh, yeah.
lot going on. And we're going to start with, the guy who creates the most clicks. I'm not going to lie. You put LeBron's and James's name on anything, he's so polarizing. Everybody,
Hey, the
everybody,
media gonna miss Braun when he gone. They gonna
they
miss him.
certainly there's some careers that are going to end as a
Yeah.
result of LeBron hanging it up. Although I think somehow, some way, he's going to find a way to still be relevant or in the news, just not at the same level. But I want to get to this because this is legit. This is a legit conversation because of how well the Los Angeles Lakers have done without LeBron James. And you and I kind of teased it an episode or two ago, seeing how Austin Reaves was playing and becoming that, not just the number two, but the chemistry between Austin and Luka. And now we see Rui Hachimura joining the party. And to me, he may be the biggest encumbrance to figuring out how you fit LeBron James back in. And I know that sounds crazy on the face of it, but I'll start there. Is that a crazy notion that there's going to be some work to be done to fit LeBron back into what seems to be a very successful situation?
No, it's not crazy to say that you have to find a way to fit LeBron back into it because the team has played well without LeBron. It's looked good. Hey, Austin Reeves has his time. Luka obviously is still Luka. And now you know when you bring another ball dominant player, take the name LeBron out if you want to. You bring in any ball dominant superstar, that upsets the apple cart. And now we have to figure out when it's my time, when it's your time. Does that mean Austin Reeves gets 5 less opportunities a game? 2? I don't know. But I just know that everywhere LeBron's been, just walk with me. When he was in Cleveland, he always had the ball.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in Miami, the first year, remember, it was a my turn, your turn situation. D Wade and Chris Bosh said in the offseason, they realized, hey, he got to have the ball. For
Yep.
us, like Magic Johnson, when LeBron first got there, remember, we're going to have LeBron playing off the ball. I was like, yo, I love Magic.
Right.
That is absolutely crazy. LeBron don't play off the ball. And they originally switched that immediately, put the ball more in his hands. LeBron James has been playing at a high level with the ball in his hands for 20 plus years. He's not going to know how to be a corner shooter. He's not going to know how to just wait over there and we'll get to you when we get to you. So integrating him back into this offense is going to be a process because it is going to be a little bit of a culture shock for Austin Reeves. Those shots you were getting, you're going to have to cut some of those down. They have to go to the big fella. Some
Yep.
of the minutes that Rui was getting, you're going to have to cut that down. He's going to have to go to the big fella. All of that is involved. And if you're JJ, how do you figure all of that out while massaging the ego of arguably the greatest player of all time? Like, this ain't a situation where they can be like, yeah, your first couple games come back off the bench. It's still LeBron James.
Right.
I don't envy JJ Redick at all right now.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm with you. And who is it more on? Is it more on JJ figuring it out? Or is it on, as you said, LeBron sublimating his ego to a certain extent to say, hey, this thing's rolling well. Let me see how I can fit in.
You would like to say it would be on LeBron, but it's probably going to end up being on JJ because
Yeah.
LeBron's going to go to what he knows, what's comfortable. We all do.
Mhm.
We fall back into a space of what's comfortable. LeBron pushing the ball in transition, initiating the pick and rolls on offense. Like, this guy has never been the third option. Hey, man, wait over here and we'll get to you when we get to you.
Yeah.
I played with Kevin Love. When he came from Minnesota to Cleveland, being the third option was very tough for him mentally. Very tough
Yep.
because you don't get the same looks, the same opportunity. So I know what it would be for LeBron. And K Love was a better shooter. LeBron, he's shot the ball way better as he's gotten older in his career. But it's
Mhm.
not like he's still just known as a straight catch and shoot guy.
Yep.
And so there's going to be an adjustment period when LeBron comes back. And the Lakers are going to have to figure out, how do we get LeBron on the court? How do we get him his touches? but how do we not interrupt what we already have going? Because truthfully, the Lakers have probably exceeded expectations of where we thought they would be right now without LeBron James. Even the time they didn't have Luka, this Lakers team was able to get a couple of wins.
The Lakers have certainly been better than I expected, but I am looking at the schedule, and they beat Minnesota, but Minnesota's not Minnesota right now.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, they really haven't played or beaten a quality team. They've been home for the most part. Like, they've had enough time, enough rest. And so after this upcoming road trip where they go back east, they're going to run into Oklahoma City, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to play some quality teams. And I'll judge then just how good the Lakers actually are. They are better than I expected. There's no question about it. I wonder if we're underselling what LeBron's plan is, because I will say this: outside of the head of our current administration, I don't know anybody who's more calculating about figuring out how do I make this work for me. And I believe that the number one thing for LeBron right now is I want to win another championship. I want to find a way to get another ring. And that's why I don't think he's in any big hurry to get back. If it's rolling and it's doing well, like, let me find my opportunity to jump back in when I know I have enough gas to get to the finish line. Like, that's why I don't think he's in any hurry to get back at this point. And I believe that really it's easier said than done, but winning another ring is the number one goal for him. And whatever that takes, while it may be uncomfortable, I think he's willing to ride with it if he sees that that's at the end of the rainbow.
I think first and foremost, he understands he doesn't have to rush back because the team's playing well.
Yeah.
It's not the same pressure that he felt early on in his Laker career when he would sit out and the team would just collapse.
Yeah.
They got a guy over there now that's pretty good. Like Luka, we know what Luka is. He is one of them ones. He's one of probably the 5 or 6 best players in the world. So you can win games when LeBron's not out. Austin Reaves has proven, hey, if you need me, I'm not going to say I'm going to drop 50 every night, but I'm capable of 50.
Yeah.
I can get 40. I can hit clutch shots.
Yep.
If you need that, I can do that as well. So because this Lakers team is playing so well, LeBron also doesn't feel like I have to come back early. Like early on in his Laker career, I thought there were times when he was coming back and he wasn't all the way ready. And he was just saying, hey, I got to come back now before there's no reason for me to come back. So I don't feel like he feels that pressure like, hey, I got to come back. He's like, yo, the team is winning. We're doing well. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to come back when I'm healthy. And the thing about LeBron is he is one of the smartest basketball players I've ever played with. If anybody is going to figure this out, how to slightly change his game to fit in with what Luka and Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura and this Lakers team already has, it is LeBron James. He's smart enough to realize, okay, maybe instead of initiating the fast break, I get out in transition a little bit more and let Luka kick it ahead to me. I cut a little bit more on the weak side. But there will be an adjustment period because he's not used to playing that style.
Here's the tricky part is that we've talked all offense. How's he going to get his shots? How are they going to, share the ball? All of that. It's at the defensive end that's going to be the biggest challenge for JJ and LeBron to navigate, because Deandre Ayton has been better than I expected. Jackson Hayes still gives you a rim protector. Rui Hachimura has been good defensively, even when he's got to go out and guard a wing. LeBron just hasn't been that, and hasn't been that for a minute. And so, and you need that as much as Luka has contributed that end more so than ever before. To me, that's going to be the biggest issue is, are we, how much is our defense costing us? Can we still win if we've got LeBron James on the floor?
Well, that's the biggest problem, just big picture for the Lakers. When you have Luka, Austin Reaves, and LeBron James, and we fast forward and say they're a playoff team. Let's just say they're a playoff team. We fast forward to May. There's not a high-level defender on the field, on the court. And that's where the problem comes into play because, okay, you're playing SGA. You're playing OKC. Okay, who's guarding you?
Yeah.
Austin Reaves? LeBron? Luka? Like, you playing Denver. Which one of y'all is going to guard Jamal Murray on the perimeter?
Yep.
That's a tough. Hey, who's going to get KD if you play Houston?
Yep.
You know, I would say who's going to get Ja, but I don't think Memphis is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's just one of those situations where when your three perimeter guys are not, none of them are defensive guys or none of them are two-way players, you become very easy for teams to pick on in the playoffs. If you think I'm lying, go back and look at what happened to the Knicks against the Pacers.
Yeah.
The Knicks' two best players don't play defense. Hey,
Yep.
you and you, come here, let's play.
Yeah.
And that is how the Pacers beat
Every
you.
action.
Yeah, so
Every
like
action.
that's the real challenging part for the Lakers is even if you get LeBron integrated in and it's working in the regular season, I know, you know, and every coach in the Western Conference knows if we get these guys in the playoff series, we're going to pick one of those guys.
Yep.
We're going to attack them, and we're going to force them to guard. And it might be we pick on multiple guys within the same game because there's not a wing defender out there when these three guys are playing.
No, it's well said. It's well said. What do you make of LeBron being the mute at the end of the bench and just not like he knows the cameras are going to be on him? And usually he takes advantage of that and he's talking to guys and you see him active and all that. I can't help but feel like this is purposeful. Him sitting there having like no reaction to anything that's going on. Like he's just a bystander.
I think that the body, I'm just guessing.
Mm-hmm.
The body language signals there's probably some things that are going on.
Mm.
But I don't all the way know. So I don't want to just say that it is what it is. But I will say it is different to see him. Normally he's engaged. He's getting up. He's cheering. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because of the sciatica. He's not moving as well. Hey, don't do that. I see the eye roll. I see the eye roll. Don't do that.
That deserved an eye roll. Come on.
Hey man, I'm just playing. I'm being.
No. You're reaching is what you're doing.
I'm being
the 7-footer. The 7-footer is showing his wingspan on that.
I do have a long wingspan, but what I'm saying is I'm used to seeing LeBron super active on the bench, high fiving guys, getting up for play, and so like it's weird. And I can't say, does that mean that he's upset with the organization? Does that mean that he felt a way about some things going on here or there? I don't know, but it is weird to see LeBron so stoic on the bench. That is not who he's been. No, you remember those years in Cleveland? Even if he didn't play, they were on the bench doing the air guitar and all of it. So like it's very weird to see him stoic on the end of the bench.
That's exactly. Good word.
Yeah, stoic. Yeah, you don't get to use stoic every day. So it's a very weird situation to see him like that in that situation.
Yeah. Have you ever played on a team? I got to have played on a team where you had the star out for a period of time and the team was rolling without them. And then you had to integrate them back in. Maybe not, this is kind of a unique situation, but I'm wondering just what goes into making that work or did it work?
I've never really had that. Like, I've never, because the star players that I played with, MJ early on in my career, never really had to work him back in. Maybe Gilbert Arenas after the knee injury, but, Gil was working his way back, so it wasn't really awkward. It wasn't like he felt like, hey, I got to get all these shots up. Dirk was never out. When LeBron did get missing for remember when he had in Cleveland, he was gone for 10 games.
Did he go down to Miami?
Yeah.
We gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that sometime.
I'm not gonna get the call. Okay, you're not gonna do me like that. I know what you ain't gonna set me up, Rick. I know I ain't gonna get the call. All I'm saying is
I just wanted you to acknowledge that you would get a call. That's all.
Hey, listen. All I know is when he came back, he was integrated right back into the team. I don't know what you're laughing at. I don't have any part of this. If the call
you have no idea what I'm talking about or why I'm laughing.
Call Rick Bucher. Don't call me. I'm not involved. All I'm saying is I was on a team where he was gone for I think 10, 12 games, and when he came back, but he was integrated right back into the team. So, I say. I wasn't a part of this team, obviously, but I know several players on the Knicks, and they said that it was incredibly hard to integrate Melo back
Hmm.
in the height of
That was
Linsanity.
that Linsanity.
Yes. They
Yeah.
were like, it was weird because like everybody's rolling with Linsanity. Like Melo's coming back. It was a different vibe.
Yeah.
You know, Melo
I
wants to
remember
be
that.
Melo. Some guys in the locker room are like, maybe we shouldn't switch back to the old offense. But I wasn't on that team, so
Yeah.
I'm only getting secondhand
Yeah.
information. But that was the situation that popped out the most because I knew some guys on that Knicks team. They were like, it was interesting, it was tough, and it was a very trying time when Melo came back and Linsanity was already on a roll and everybody in New York was loving it.
I always feel like some of it is the level of respect that the replacement has among the rest of the team. And this is what fascinates me. I understand it because I've experienced it myself from both sides, where you look at someone, you don't care about the results. You look at someone, you go, he's either a player or he's not a player. Like that's a guy or he's not a guy. And you don't like the fans will look at, and I don't want to take anything away from Jeremy Lin and what he did, but I do feel like there was a lot of people that thought he was sort of a creation of Mike D'Antoni.
Right.
Like, not so much that he was that guy, but that he was just taking advantage and was looking like that guy. And and I feel like that was a big part of what was going on with the Knicks and with Carmelo in particular, looking at Jeremy. But it always fascinates me. It's like, well, the dude's getting the job done. It's like, yeah, but he's not
You
that guy.
you know another very interesting situation that's like that right now that's kind of going under the radar to a certain degree.
Hmm.
And this player's not
You asking me to
gone.
guess?
No, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
This player's not gone. He's playing, but he's been integrated back slowly. He's not playing at the same level. Philadelphia.
Oh, yes.
Because
Yeah.
if you watch Philadelphia, it
Yeah.
looks like it needs to be all about the guards.
Yep.
Tyrese Maxey,
VJ.
BJ Edgecombe,
Yep.
even you got Quentin Grimes playing with like it looks like this needs to be about the guards.
Yep.
Hey, big fella, when you get back up to speed, we'll catch up. But right now, we don't need to slow down for you.
Yeah.
Like you watching that game against the Bulls, and you're like, oof, Embiid, they like that knee look a little creaky. Like,
He's never
and
played good against Vucevic either. Like,
I'm just saying, like when you watch Philly, the best player right now looks like Tyrese Maxey,
yeah. Yeah.
and but you understand there's a certain level of Embiid was an MVP a couple of years ago, highest paid player,
Mm-hmm.
one of the faces of the league. Like Philly's a team that's kind of in that mold right now too. Even though Embiid is there, it's like right now a torch needs to be passed. It needs to
Mm-hmm.
be about these young guards
Mm.
and them figuring it out, and then when big fella's ready, we'll catch back up.
Yeah.
But that's a situation that it kind of reminds me of.
Big picture, I'm seeing this in a lot of places. And there's actually a little bit of friction in a number of places as a result. We talked about how the pace of the game and why there's still like a lot of injuries and soft tissue. I get the sense, and I haven't had a chance to talk directly to a coach yet about this, but I'm going to. I get the sense that they've realized at the pace that this game is now played, we have to get off of as much ISO ball as we've had in the past, and we have to play a deeper rotation and spread the wealth in order to get through the regular season and make sure that our star players are still available at the end. And so everybody is going to more ball movement, more player movement, more distribution. The Chicago Bulls are taking full advantage of that. Like, they are an equal opportunity offense right now. And Ja Morant's issues in Memphis and what Thomas Isolo said about like how they want to play, and the Knicks having issues with Mike Brown because it's not as ball dominant for Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. I believe the whole league is moving in that direction where it's the stars are going to have to find out that, or get comfortable with the idea that it's not going to be the old model of, your usage rate is like 30, 35%, because it's a way to get around what we've seen as guys inevitably getting injured by the end of the year?
But I think that's a mistake, though.
Really?
Yes, a lot of coaches, like, it's a copycat league.
Hmm.
Oh, look at what the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Pacers
Yeah.
are doing. Well, you're
Yeah.
not that. You're not that. Your star's not SGA. Your star's not Tyrese Halliburton. Like, every star player is different. And if you if you run an offense that takes away from your star player, I don't care how fresh they are at the end. If they're not comfortable, we're not
Hmm.
comfortable.
Hmm.
So, like, if I
Hmm.
take it all the way back to when I played in DC, if
Yeah.
we ran an equal opportunity offense and took the ball away from Gilbert Arenas, I don't care what we was doing in January or February. Come May, Gil got to have the ball
Yeah.
because the game slows down. He's our best offensive player. You're not running no offense through me, Jared Jeffries, Juan Dixon, none of these guys. Like,
Yeah.
the stars set the table, and I think that you have to understand what type of star player you have. If you got Jalen Brunson, bro, you got to let him cook and find comfort.
Yeah.
That's the way he grew into being Jalen Brunson.
But do you think that you have to do that in January and February in order for that star player to do what he does in April and May? Or is it a matter of like the whole team has to be comfortable with playing that way, and the more reps you get playing that way, the better off you're going to be?
It's just like anything else. Anything you want to do in life to be successful, you practice at it till you get to a certain point.
Yeah.
If you want to start losing weight for a trip, you don't start losing weight 2 weeks before the trip. You start 2-3 months out. If you want to win playoff games, you don't play one style in the regular season and then get to May, April, May, and June and start trying to do something different. The
Yeah.
team is used to you doing what you do. It's kind of the reason why some of those Houston Rockets teams with James Harden used to flame out, because they were used to James Harden doing everything for 82 games.
Yeah.
And then the game would slow down, the refs would officiate the game different, and now
We're searching for something else.
instead of 35-point James Harden, you were getting 28-point
Yeah.
James Harden, and they couldn't make up for that. Hey, dog, we've been used to you carrying the load for 82 games. We don't. What you want me to do? Like,
Yep.
you can't tell Trevor Reaves to start creating his own shot now. He's been standing in the corner for 80 games. And
Yep.
so that is part of the problem is whatever style that you have offensively and defensively, it needs to translate into May. And if you're the Knicks, getting the ball to Karl Anthony Towns and Brunson as much as possible and letting everybody play off of that, that's what you're going to have to do, because that's the way your stars feel comfortable. Part of why Ja's unhappy in Memphis, they changed the offense last year.
Yep.
They wanted to be this Euro-centric, I forgot, 5 out, everybody touch it. That ain't how Ja Morant became Ja Morant.
That's very true.
He's not throwing it over here, coming back, getting it on the weak side. No, he became Ja Morant by dominating the ball, getting out in transition, making athletic plays at the rim. If you're not going to play that style, you need to move him.
Yeah.
And the way that his body language looks, you might need to move him anyway.
Yeah. No, fair. So you led right into it. Let's start here. Is Ja Morant, maybe I should say, does he need to be salvaged? Because it sounds as if you're putting some of what's going on, I don't know what degree, on Memphis and how they're handling things. Does he need to be salvaged? And if so, is he salvageable?
It's very early on in the process, but this has a Jimmy Butler-esque feel to it. When you hear the comments, you watch the body language, you look at how Ja Morant normally plays when he's playing at a high level, and this ain't it. This ain't like you're like, he don't look like he's as engaged offensively or defensively. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say it's Memphis's fault. They probably switched the offense because they thought it would be good for the organization.
I think also try to keep him healthy.
Yeah. And so I'm not sure if he was consulted on it. I'm not sure what's going on. But right now, Memphis and Ja Morant look like they're headed for a divorce.
Yeah.
And if I'm Memphis, with this new coaching staff, the new offense that's obviously not going anywhere, if my best player is not going to get on board, I need to move him now before this gets really bad, before this gets ugly, before this becomes cryptic comments on social media, before this becomes T. Morant making comments at the sideline of the game. You saw the game the other day. Kevin Durant was trolling T. Morant. He said, "Hey man,
Big
you need to
time.
pipe down. You need to pipe down over there. Your son don't even want to be here. This your
Yeah.
last weekend playing in Memphis." Like
Yeah.
you slowly see it starting to turn. And if you're Memphis, you got to start taking the calls and figuring out what is the best package. Is it Minnesota? They need another playmaker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what could they give up? What
Mm.
other teams? Is it Sacramento? I don't know. Houston? Who knows? What other teams have a package full of first round picks and young players that we can get back for Ja Morant? Because it looks like right now that Ja and the organization and the coaching staff, they're not on the same page.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting where they go. I've been talking to a number of scouts and executives because I was wondering about what the market was. Here's the tricky part. In a market like Memphis, you're never getting a free agent talent of Ja
Nope.
Morant's caliber, which is why one scout said to me, the rule number one for NBA GMs, never give up on talent. Rule number two, if you have problems with that talent, see number one. And the Memphis Grizzlies, it would appear, have decided we're not going to cater to you, or we're going to go in this direction. You can either come with us, or if you don't, like we'll make a change. It appears that they're willing to move him in this situation because they're not catering to him. The problem that I have is, like, they never put up any guardrails with him. There was so much that went on that they never tried to curb his behavior or rein him in. And now you get to a point where you just throw him overboard. I have problems with that. I think there's culpability here from the franchise. Nonetheless, I agree with you. They need to, like, feels like they're headed for a breakup. Where would you send him? Or where should he want to go that would take advantage of his maximum value, and the team would need him or could use him as he is?
If we're talking about teams that are competing, Minnesota jumps out. I don't know what Minnesota has to give. Like, I'm not sure if that even makes sense because you like, we're just talking about it on the fly. I just think Minnesota needs a playmaker.
Yeah,
Ja Morant would be a
that'd be
great
really
playmaker
interesting.
for Minnesota, and if nothing else, it will be some exciting basketball with Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
I don't know what Houston has to give up, but we understand that Houston needs a playmaker. Ja Morant, Kevin Durant, maybe it could work out. I'm trying to think of other teams that are competing where it makes sense.
Miami?
Yes, Miami works out, but hey, listen, I have one problem.
Hmm.
If you were getting in trouble in the Memphis streets, I know you're gonna get in trouble in the Miami streets because I've seen them. Hey, listen, I've seen Miami Knights take out many opposing team in Miami. Have you ever watched, like, especially because guys don't go out as much in today's NBA? But
Yeah.
do you remember just looking back over the last decade and sometimes turn on a Miami game and you just look up and they're up 20 in the first quarter? You say to yourself, "Yeah,
Oh,
my Miami Knights undefeated yet again." So I don't know if that's the right market, but Miami could definitely use Ja Morant.
when I was a beat writer early on, as a beat writer,
Using the
I,
streets?
I would stay at the same hotel as the team. I was what?
Using
What
the
do you?
streets?
No, I was not. I was not. Well, maybe a little.
Hey,
I was single. I
hey.
was I was a single, and I was a beat writer, and I was
You,
traveling all around the country. Like,
you ain't got to explain nothing to me. I listen, but I do not judge.
so, but I would stay at the team hotel, and we would stay at that time. We stayed in Coconut Grove. I forget I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of the
It was like
hotel.
a Ritz Carlton or Four Seasons over there.
It was something like that, and it had like some rooms had like a piano in them. Some of them had a hot tub. Like, you just you showed up and you were like, oh, it's on. Like, it's
Yeah,
on. Guys would go out at 1 a.m. Like, the night
for
would
sure.
start at a
You can't
crazy
you,
hour.
you
So
can't get to a Miami club at 11. You'll be helping the DJ set up. What you talking about?
1, 2, 3 a.m. That's when it starts to pop.
Yeah.
Understood. So yes, I fully get that. The thing for me is, I think you need to have an established star there. And I think you need to have a team that has structure and guardrails and has a coach and says, like, this is the way we're going to play. And make sure that Ja knows that he's valuable and he can be a part of it, but this isn't going to be the Ja Morant show. The team that I don't think it would be a good fit. I think it end up being a disaster somehow, some way. Philadelphia somehow is going to get involved.
No.
Daryl Morey is going to. This has Daryl Morey written all over it. It does. Philly's in a bad way. Like it just feels to me like he's going to get involved.
No. First of all, if you're Philly, you can't trade VJ Edgecombe.
No, I'm not trading. No, I'm not trading
or Maxey. And then, how in the hell do you think you're going to get Memphis to take Embiid? No one's going to take Embiid. Like, with the money he's owed, the shape that he's in, and the way his knees look, who's taking that contract on? No, Philly's not. The only way for Philly to get involved will be to give up one of those guards that they have.
I wouldn't do that.
They shouldn't do that at all.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's weird. It's weird how it's crazy how time passes so quickly. At one point, Ja Morant was supposed to be the face of the league, and now we're saying, hey, man, you can't trade him for VJ Edgecombe. Life comes at you fast. Remember when he was good in the West?
No
wow,
doubt.
times have changed.
Before all the gunplay stuff, I thought there was a chance that he could be, if not the face of the league, at least the torch carrier for American players. Like he was going to be that guy, right?
Everybody did. Everybody thought. Listen, there's a reason why Nike had the ads and the shoe. They're still coming out with the Ja Morant shoe. It's actually a very nice shoe. It is worn by a lot of AAU teams. A lot of the younger kids like the Ja Morant shoe. Young players gravitate to high-flying, exciting guards.
Mm-hmm.
Ja Morant had the game. He had the personality. He had everything it took to be.
He had the look. He had the swag. He had all.
Yeah, he had everything it took to be a showman and carry a brand, be a brand ambassador, and be the face of the NBA. But the gun situation, the injuries, and now the way this team is playing, the direction that they're going in, it doesn't seem like he's ever going to get back to that. He can get back to being a great player, but the face of the league and you're the best player face, you're the guy on all the commercials, I think that ship has sailed.
This is what kills me, and I've been pounding this theme for a while now about just watching, the MVP race being dominated by international players, the Miami Heat now having half of their roster international players, something that Pat Riley never swore he would never do. And now he's come to I don't know if it's the dark side or the bright side, but he's changed his tune. And I look at Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, the two picks from the 2019 draft, both physical freaks, both immense talents. And what did they do with it? And meanwhile, you look at the Nikola Jokic's and the Victor Wembanyamas and even Luka Doncic now. Like, any questions about his dedication to his form, like, somebody gave him the alert, somebody threw up the flag, and he's responded to it in a big way. It hurts me that our best talent seems to be more preoccupied with the life of being an NBA player than trying to win and be the best NBA player they can be. And I can't help but feel like somehow our values when it comes to basketball and what it means in this country has changed. Like, it sounds really quaint, and it sounds like the old man on the porch telling the kids to get off the lawn, but like, it doesn't feel like we value winning and becoming the best player that you could possibly become over like all of the other stuff that you mentioned that a guy gets when he's a star in the NBA.
Well, we do have some American basketball players that are on that path. Like, I look at Anthony Edwards, he's getting better every year. Every year. He's been to the Western Conference twice. Western Conference.
His personal life's still messy.
Hey, bro, that ain't for me.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. No, hey, this. When your life off the court is messy, chances are, like, it on some level it translates.
What did I just tell? I listen, but I do not judge. I might not agree with everything that he does off the court, but on the court, it doesn't seem to bother him.
Okay.
Anthony Edwards' game is getting better and better year by year.
Okay.
And you look at a guy, I understand he's recovering from an injury. A guy like Jason Tatum, he's already won an
Yeah.
NBA championship. He's probably even a better
Yeah.
example. Really stable environment with his family,
Yeah.
everything else.
Good point.
He's continued to get better and better year by year. So we do have some American-born players that are willing to step up and take the challenge and basically say, "Hey, I'm all about basketball." We
Hmm.
do, but guess what? Then there's some guys that fall into the trappings of fame and celebrity, and there's that aspect of it too. The guys is like that fall into the fashion and the bright lights and the glitz and the glamour, and they
Miami
forget.
at 3 a.m.
Yeah, they well sometimes guys can forget.
Yeah.
It's not about what you say. It's not about it's not about how you dress. It's not about how many clicks you get, how many likes you get. It's about how many games you win
Yeah.
and how do you affect winning in organizations. And we are seeing right now, we do have more star players. Because I think we have a lot of American players that get that. But we do have, when you look at some of the star players from overseas, when they talk about Jokic, they talk about how like he don't really care about none of that stuff.
Yeah.
When you talk about Wemby, they talk about he don't care about the outside noise.
Yep.
SGA is the same way. Like they talk about how great he is as a leader and a franchise guy, and that other stuff comes next. So we do have a lot of European or non-American players that are really thriving in this league. And one of the
Hmm.
reasons why I think they do so well is that they have the ability to turn that outside noise off.
Speaking of Victor Wembanyama, we've now seen him. I don't know if struggle's the right word, but he hasn't been as offensively dominant against the Phoenix Suns and again against the Los Angeles Lakers. Defensively, still absolute presence. What do you make of what we've seen the last two games, both San Antonio losses after they won 5 in a row to start the season?
Well, they're showing them like some really weird different coverages where they're really getting underneath him,
Yep.
fronting him, putting a lot of bodies around him. And what I'm seeing is they're doing Victor Wembanyama a favor. Because a lot of times you don't see the jump defenses until it's too late. Like you get into a playoff series, they hit you with something that you've never seen before, and now
Hmm.
you don't have an adjustment. Well, right now you seen what Phoenix did. Okay, all right. That's how you're gonna try to play me. Now it's up to the coaching staff and your teammates to figure out when they're playing said coverage, when they're trying to get underneath Victor, when they're trying to clutter him up so he doesn't have any space. How do we move on the weak side?
Yeah.
Where are you going to cut to? And that's one of those things in Dallas when I played with Dirk. Dirk had seen so many different coverages. He had seen coverages that you never even thought of before. Like Pop used to double team him. Greg Popovich used to break basketball rules. He would double team him from the baseline. You rarely see that. Like yeah, like so because like he might basically tell a guy, listen, cut. So Dirk was really good at going to the middle for that fadeaway one-legged jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
The Spurs would play the high side sometimes, not all the time,
Like force
and
him to the baseline?
force him to the baseline, and a double would be coming along the baseline. Most teams double from the top of the key or from
Sure.
the weak side.
Sure.
So it like Dirk lost playoff series to San Antonio, but then slowly but surely it's the mental Rolodex. Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen the baseline coverage.
Yeah.
Cool. I've seen the double from the top of the key. Okay. Our coaching staff is like, okay, when they start doubling him here, we need to move him here. Then because the guys on the weak side are so smart, guys like Tyson Chandler and myself, Sean Marion, all the weak side guys that don't get the ball, hey, when Dirk gets it here, we need to be in this area so we
Yeah.
can get a dunk. Hey, when they do this double team, we need to be over here so that we get wide open shots. Like there'll be plays where Jason Terry will be like, okay, I've seen them do this to Dirk before, right? Just set me a flare screen. Your man is going to be looking at Dirk. I'm going to be wide open, or you're going to slip and you're going to get a dunk.
Yeah.
And he knew that because so many coverages were shown to Dirk. And so that is the great thing for San Antonio right now. They're in the data collection phase because we
Yeah.
ain't never seen nobody like Wemby. And teams are showing you different ways that they're going to try to slow him down. And they're getting a great, it's not even Thanksgiving. They're getting a great opportunity
Yeah.
to assess this data, figure out how we're going to take advantage of it. And then when they get Foxy back, then it becomes even harder to run these coverages. So I understand San Antonio lost a lot of games. People might overreact, but I think it's a good thing that they're seeing these different weird type of coverages now so it won't shock them later.
Yeah, I was encouraged by the fact that I was waiting for it. I didn't know whether he wasn't capable of doing it or they didn't have it in their playbook with him. But they waited until Mitch Johnson, the San Antonio coach, waited until the fourth quarter to start putting him at the elbow and to have him operate from there. And I don't think he was that good. He didn't look all that comfortable. I would think, but I was glad to see that they were doing it because I think ultimately that's where he has to be in need situations. I also think a lot of this has to do with the rest of the San Antonio team. Like they were standing around waiting for him to do something. And defensively, when he's not on the floor, it's like he makes up for so much that when he's not there, they don't play very good defense. Like they don't. He covers up a lot of blemishes in that San Antonio team. And to me, it's not so, certainly he has to still develop and grow. But I think a big part of it is the rest of that San Antonio team can't lean on him as hard as they do. And they need, when he gets double and triple teamed in some of these situations, I need to see more off the ball action because I'm seeing everything static. I don't know what he's supposed to do in that situation.
And that's where they're going to get better. San Antonio has been a great organization ever since I can remember watching basketball. They're going to get better, and that's when you go look at the film and say, hey, if they're going to put three guys around Vic, hey, Castle, I need you to cut to this area, or we need this type of cut down the middle. Like there's so many different things that they can do and they will do because now that they've seen these are the type of things that teams are going to use to slow down Vic. Different teams are going to try to mimic that, and you're going to get more and more practice reps of saying, okay, like this guy, you need to be in the corner right here. You need to cut. If they're showing this many guys in this area, this is where you need to get your shots. And role players help star players be star players. And what I mean by that is your stars always want to play in space. Yep. They want to play one-on-one. And if your role players can knock down shots and understand how to play, that creates the space for the stars. Yep. You know, that's why LeBron always wants to play with shooters, because if I got a guy that can knock down 4 corner threes,
right. You got to respect that.
You can't come double me, and it's a little bit more room to work. Yep. And if you're coming with a weird coverage, if that guy knows how to cut like a D Wade in Miami, I can wait, whoop, bam, quick lob pass over the top, bounce pass, and get a dunk. So like there's those type of plays, the cuts, the smart basketball plays, and the shot making ability by your role players always allow your stars to play like stars. Yep. Because your stars most of the time are unguardable one-on-one.
Yep. Both Phoenix and the Lakers did the same thing. Got into Wemby's legs with Marcus Smart in particular was really smart.
Think about it. We saw the Lakers last year kind of do something similar to Jokic.
No, that's exactly. I was going to get to that. Like we saw OKC do the same thing with Alex Caruso. Like get up underneath him and make the big uncomfortable. What is the counter for a big when a team does that? Because I can appreciate how uncomfortable that is, and at the same time, people are looking at it as a mismatch. Like the big is supposed to take full advantage of this, but it's like, how do I move when this guy is underneath me and not draw an offensive foul?
The first thing you want to do is you want to try, when you see that coverage, you want to do your best to try to run and seal right in front of the rim. Like if they're going to put a guard on you, you want to seal in front of the rim, force that guard to foul you, or you get a quick little hook shot up, dunk, drop step, or whatever, right? That's the first thing you do. The second part of that is you have to depend on your teammates to do the right thing. Yeah. If you go run to the block and you don't get it right away, and you have a smaller guard defending you, and they're fronting, and there's obviously, if they're fronting and they're not throwing it to you, that means there's somebody over the top. Your guys have to get comfortable with where they need to move on the weak side. That's the reason why OKC beat Jokic. They never quite figured it out. They never quite had enough shooting on that team, and they
Mm-hmm.
never
Mm-hmm.
really figured out where they were supposed to go so that Denver could take advantage of Jokic being guarded by Caruso.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing right now if you're San Antonio. When they put a small on Vic and they front and there's help over the top, the weak side guys have to understand little things. Am I flashing to a certain area? Maybe because my man is behind Jokic, maybe I'm running to set a ball screen. Who's on the other side of that screen if my man's in the low post? Like, these are the little games within the game that you get to figure out. And the beauty of this for San Antonio is they normally don't show you this type of coverage within the first 5 to 6 games of the season. They're
Hmm.
showing it to you off the rip, which gives you plenty of time to figure out who needs to be where, what shots will be available. And by the time we get to May and you see this junk coverage, you should have it figured out.
Why do you think we're seeing this? Is it? I mean, my first thought is you got a brand new coach in Phoenix. You got JJ Redick. Like, you got coaches that want to show you, oh, you know what, I know what I'm doing here. I know how to fix this. What reason would you think that San Antonio is getting this gift of teams opening up their options or what they're going to do, their defensive playbook this early?
It just basically, the reason why you get this is because you're dealing with a special player. Special players get special coverage.
Hmm.
Like, there's really good players, there's all-stars, there's superstars, and then there's these elite, like, guys that just rip defensive game plans to shreds.
Hmm.
And when you play against those guys, you got to hit them with everything. Like, when I was in the league, when we played against Kobe, when Kobe was at the height of his powers, we had an A coverage. This is what we want to do to start the game. We had a B coverage. This is what we're going to do if he gets hot.
Hmm.
We had a C coverage. This is what we're going to do if he gets red hot. And then we had a D coverage where we throw everything at him and say, anybody but you.
Yeah.
That's what's special. That's why they're getting that. That's why these coaches are doing this, because the really elite guys, they force you to go to your fourth or fifth option from a defensive game plan, and you're just trying to see what works. And so if you're JJ Redick and you say, that works.
Yeah.
You run it again. And
Yeah.
then other teams will try to, if they have the personnel, they'll try to mimic it. So that's why we're seeing that, because, hey, you can't play a guy like Wemby one-on-one no more, or Jokic. You can't play him one-on-one and hope to get, because they're just too good.
Yeah.
And, there's so many different things you can do. And this allows you to also keep a lot of bodies around those guys in the pick and roll, which is key. Like, the reason why a lot of teams run that coverage for Jokic is because the good teams like to play 3-on-2 against the Jokic-Murray pick and roll. Like, yeah, it's 3 our defenders versus those two guys. We'll make them other guys on the weak side figure out a way to beat us.
Yeah. I think that's going to be, not to completely diverge to Denver, but I think that's going to be harder to do this year.
Yeah.
I believe that the pieces that they have you're going to pay a price if you're going to pay that much attention to that combo. I think they are a legitimate threat to knock off Oklahoma City this year.
I keep going back and forth to Denver because Wemby and Jokic get that same style coverage.
Yeah.
And we've seen
which we're talking about Wemby in his third year. He's getting that. I mean, when you said he's in the elite, I keep thinking, I'm not thinking of him in that way at this point, particularly offensively. Like, I don't have him quite there yet, but you do.
Let me see something real quick. I gotta go. I gotta go to my notes real quick.
Brennan's going to the stat page.
Let me see something real quick.
I know that he's shooting better than 50%. I might have the number for you. What do you need?
No. I just want to look at something. Overall, I just want to look at something.
You really think that I'm underselling him in a major way? You're about to throw some number at me.
No. I'm just saying, when you say that he's not in the elite, we're talking about a guy that's averaging 26, shooting over 50% from the floor.
Yeah.
And he is routinely doubled and tripled on a nightly basis. And they
Okay.
still haven't, and we still haven't got. And here's the thing with him: most, if you go back and look at the history of the league,
Hmm.
most incredible bigs had that incredible guard with them,
Yeah.
and Fox hasn't been healthy. And so, like I said, and so you got to wait to see what it looks like when Fox gets there. But you know, if you think about go back way back, Magic Johnson and Kareem, Shaq and Kobe. You think about the bigs. They normally have somebody like even outside of the first championship. Tim Duncan had Manu, Tony
Oh
Parker.
yeah.
You normally got to have these guards that can really boogie and make it even
Why do you got to
easier
throw
for you.
shade at my man Avery Johnson?
No, ain't no shade at Avery. I love Avery Johnson. He ain't in that group though, but I love Avery.
That's true.
And so like when you look at when Fox, he's averaging 26, and we haven't really seen Fox like that.
Yeah.
And he's shooting over 50%. He's getting it on his own right now. And the reason why I say he's one of those elite guys is offensively he's over 25. The efficiency is through the roof from the field. The rebounding is there at an elite level. And then defensively, he might just be the best, one of the best defensive players that we've ever seen as
Yeah.
far as coming in, like already in the defense, like all first team defensive player of the year this early in his career.
Yeah.
Like you're not used to seeing that.
Yeah.
So that's why I say he's one of the elite elites because Wemby could actually score 10 points and help you win the game.
Yes. No. I agree with you. He's elite as a player overall. What I meant was like elite as an offensive weapon. Like I think he's raw and he's certainly going to get there. I think that's the part of his game that has the most
Yeah.
room to grow, if you will. I mean his overall impact. I'm not debating. I'm not
I,
debating putting him at the
I,
top of the
I,
list.
I actually agree. That's what makes Wemby scary
Yeah.
because you're seeing him shoot 50% from the field. You're seeing him average 26 points, and you're thinking to yourself, he he really hasn't he really hasn't figured it all out yet.
No, he's not. He's not. He hasn't figured out
Like
all the
like
tricks of the
like
game, of the
if
NBA
we're
game.
going 1 to 100 from an offensive standpoint, he's probably at about 70 to 75.
Yeah, I agree.
There's still the ability to understand how to get fouled.
Yep.
There's the hey man, what's your best one-on-one go-to move? Hey, understanding exactly when and where you need to get to certain areas on the court. You talk about playing with him at the elbow. How do you maximize those elbow touches? What are your moves from that area? Like when you go think about what offensive scorers look like and where he is right now, that's
Mm.
why the league needs to be terrified. It's like he's 26 points a game and he's still growing.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure
Yeah.
out what do I do when I get this coverage or when I get
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. And my
When
team's
it
trying to figure out what they're supposed to do too, right?
when it starts to click, that's
Yeah.
when we're gonna say, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah.
Now he's 30 points a game,
Yeah.
and he's still rebounding and playing defense,
Yep.
and he's
Yep.
still shooting 50%. Like that's the level. And you know what? We kind of saw that with Shea. Shea go.
Yeah.
Hey, if you think about it, he goes to OKC. He's playing with Chris Paul. Then Chris Paul leaves. You see him take a step up, and he's slowly starting to figure it out. And next
Mm.
thing you know, bah, he's
Yep.
35 points a game. He's figured it all out, and his team is winning. I think
Okay.
Wemby's on the big man trajectory of that.
I will say, and I'm reluctant to ever say that star players, great players, don't get a good whistle, but I don't feel as if he gets the whistle that he deserves right now. That his greatness and maybe his length, but I feel like, and maybe the side putting the smaller players on him, I just feel like they get away with stuff that, all things equal, it's a foul. He doesn't get
Yeah.
to the line as much as I think he's going to learn how to get there. But even now, I don't think he gets there as much as he should. And Shaq went through the same thing. I mean, I
Exactly.
think great players go through this, especially great big players go through this. But I don't feel to this point that he gets a fair whistle. And he maybe got some of that Steph Curry where he doesn't complain a lot. And so he's not he's not buying the whistle, or he's not shaming the referees into giving him a better one.
Yeah, that definitely comes into play. Like when you're 7'6", like you can't be out here flopping. The officials won't respect it. And there are definitely times where you're looking around like, yo, he's getting hit, or
Yep.
that guy's really getting into his legs in a way that we wouldn't allow other
Caruso did
players.
it with Jokic too
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
playoff.
like because officials don't want to call ticky tack fouls on guards versus bigs. Like normally, if a big gets a foul on the guard, it's because the guard tackled him. But they don't want to give that same that nudge, it's still a foul.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you see Giannis go through it. Like it's like, hey man, I know he's big and strong, but he got hit 3 times on the way to the basket. Like so, that
Yeah.
is part of the game. And that's why you see Jokic sometimes flopping for fouls. Some people don't like it. I don't really care. The best players go to the free throw line by any means necessary. And I think Wemby's going to learn that too. Like, Wemby is nowhere even close to a finished product. And I already think that he is on the trajectory to be one of the best that we've ever seen.
Have to agree. I agree. All right, we're going to end it there. There was one more topic that I was just dying to get to, but we're going to save Bronny James for the next
Oh God, leave
episode.
Bronny alone, man. Leave Bronny alone.
That's exactly what I did. I decided we could have gone there multiple times during this show, and I said, you know what? No, let's wait. We got better stuff. It's not fair to him, but we do have to talk about it because he is in the rotation, and I'm curious about the dynamic with LeBron and his situation with the Lakers and Bronny, and kind of unpacking what that means. But we will save that along with whatever the way things are going. Probably a half dozen other things are going to perk up between now and the next episode. So once again, Brendan, always a pleasure to join you. All of you out there, thank you for joining us. We'll do it again next week.
Appreciate it.